don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Have you ever noticed that when a man suddenly pulls away, it doesn't always mean he's losing interest? In fact, the opposite might be true. From the very beginning, men are conditioned to wear a mask, a persona of strength, control, and emotional restraint. Society teaches them to be providers, protectors, and problem solvers, often at the expense of their own emotional world. But what happens when true feelings emerge, feelings that cannot be hidden behind this carefully constructed exterior? That mask begins to crack, and underneath lies the raw, unguarded self, a self that many men have been trained to fear. At this moment, Jung's concept of the anima, the inner feminine aspect of a man, awakens, stirring emotions he may not know how to manage. The result? Fear. Fear of vulnerability, fear of losing control, and fear of the unknown feelings that suddenly feel so overwhelming. When he senses this internal shift, he instinctively steps back, not because he wants to push you away, but because he needs space to face the whirlwind inside him. It's a pause, a quiet moment to process emotions that are unfamiliar and sometimes terrifying. This is why the silence isn't rejection. It's introspection. And here's something important. If you've ever wondered why he seems distant just when things feel serious, you're witnessing the exact moment where he's confronting himself, the core of his own psyche, and trying to understand what it means to feel so deeply. It's a critical moment, a turning point that will determine whether he can embrace connection fully. If you're watching this and relate, I want you to type the number 1 in the comments to show you're paying attention. And don't forget to like and share this video to help others understand these subtle signs too. Stick with me until the end, because there's a very important message that will change the way you view love and emotional depth. As we move forward, we'll explore what it truly feels like for a man to be vulnerable, and how that fear of falling in love shapes his behavior, paving the way for the next step in this fascinating journey into the male heart and mind. Falling in love for a man can feel like plunging into an abyss without a parachute. After the moment of reflection and stepping back, he confronts the sensation of vulnerability, an experience that is often alien to someone who has been conditioned to always appear strong and in control. When feelings are light and casual, he can be present, charming, and attentive, because there's no real risk involved. But when emotions deepen and attachment grows, panic can set in. It's not that he doesn't care, or that his interest has waned. Rather, the intensity of his own emotions becomes overwhelming. Vulnerability for him is akin to free-falling. He doesn't know exactly how to manage these sensations, and his instinct is to pause, to retreat temporarily into silence. This retreat is a protective measure, a way to regain balance while he processes the magnitude of what he's experiencing. Understanding this can transform the way you perceive his behavior. What might appear as coldness or detachment is often a signal of profound internal change. It's a reflection of his internal struggle between desire and fear, a silent battle in which he is learning to navigate his emotions without losing himself. If you notice him pulling back, don't rush to fill the silence. Instead, recognize it as a sign that he's being deeply affected, emotionally challenged in a way he may have never encountered before. And here's a little exercise for you. Write in the comments how you react when someone you care about suddenly becomes quiet. This interaction not only helps you reflect on your own patterns, but also builds a community of people navigating similar experiences. Remember, liking and sharing this video can help others understand these subtle but crucial dynamics. Keep watching, because the next chapter will reveal why his silence is not rejection, but a necessary pause for self-reflection. By understanding the depth of his internal struggle, you'll begin to see that his retreat is actually a step toward emotional intimacy, preparing him for the eventual openness that signals true affection. The journey through a man's vulnerability is intricate, but recognizing these signs can bring clarity and patience into the way you relate to him, making the path toward genuine connection much smoother and more insightful. Silence is often misunderstood. Many women perceive it as a withdrawal, a form of rejection, or even a sign that his feelings have faded. But for many men, quiet moments are anything but a retreat from love. They are a space for deep reflection. After confronting the intensity of their emotions, men enter a mental landscape where every thought, memory, and feeling is examined, sifted, and measured. They replay moments, analyze interactions, and attempt to label emotions they may have struggled to identify before. This is not a sign that he is losing interest. It's a sign that he is processing the weight of genuine affection. He is in the midst of an internal dialogue, trying to understand what he feels, why he feels it, and how to express it without losing his sense of self. Unlike women, who are often socialized to discuss and externalize emotions, men are frequently conditioned to internalize them, making reflection a necessary step before any outward expression of love. His silence, then, is a bridge, not a wall. It's the internal work required before he can approach the relationship with authenticity and emotional availability. If you've ever wondered why he sometimes seems distant, right after showing intense interest, this is exactly what's happening. And here's a small challenge for you. Type in the comments what you think goes through his mind when he goes quiet, and see if others share similar insights. Don't forget to like this video and share it. It can help others understand that silence isn't always a bad sign. This chapter leads us naturally to the next, the subtle tests he unconsciously conducts during this reflective silence. These tests aren't manipulative. They are instinctive ways for him to feel safe, to gauge whether opening up fully will be met with understanding or rejection. By learning to recognize the difference between protective silence and withdrawal, you begin to see his actions in a new light. This understanding sets the stage for deeper trust and connection, showing that his quiet moments are preparing him to step forward, not away. Stay with me, because in the next chapter we'll uncover how these silent tests reveal his need for security, and how your response can shape his willingness to embrace vulnerability. And remember, there's a very important message waiting at the end of this video that could transform the way you view his behavior and deepen your connection. During this period of reflection, a man often unconsciously tests the emotional environment around him. These moments of silence are not games or manipulations. They are instinctive ways to evaluate safety. After all, opening up emotionally makes him vulnerable, and vulnerability is only sustainable in a space where he feels protected. The way you respond to his quietness becomes a signal of that safety. If he observes patience, calmness, and confidence, he interprets it as a safe space where he can gradually lower his guard. Conversely, if his silence is met with anxiety, pressure, or attempts to chase him down, it reinforces his fears that showing true emotion could lead to rejection or conflict. This silent test is deeply rooted in self-preservation, not in judgment of you or the relationship. Understanding this can completely change your perception of his distance. He isn't withdrawing because he doesn't care. He is assessing whether it's possible to open his heart without risking his emotional stability. It's a delicate balancing act, a dance between self-protection and the desire to connect. If you've ever wondered why he seems to test your reactions, or why he becomes quieter when you show neediness, this is the reason. And here's a way to engage while reflecting. Type in the comments how you respond when someone important goes quiet. Your insight might help others navigate similar situations. Don't forget to like this video and share it to help spread awareness that male silence can signify careful consideration, not loss of interest. As we move forward, you'll see that this test of emotional safety is directly linked to his insecurities, not about you, but about himself. He wants to ensure he can show up as the man he believes you deserve before committing fully. This understanding is crucial because it reframes his quietness as a sign of care and introspection rather than rejection. In the next chapter, we will explore how these internal doubts and hesitations are more about his self-perception than about the relationship itself. By recognizing that his silence is a tool for self-assessment, you can respond with patience, reassurance, and empathy, paving the way for genuine connection. And remember, there's a very important message at the end of this video that will give you a deeper perspective on his behavior and emotions, so stay tuned. The doubts that occupy a man's mind during moments of silence are rarely about you. They are about himself. He questions whether he can truly be the partner he believes you deserve, whether he can provide, protect, and love in the way that a deep connection demands. This internal insecurity is not a reflection of your value or worth. It's a reflection of the high standards he holds for himself, the pressure he feels to meet them, and the fear of failing in the very relationship he desires. In these quiet moments, he is wrestling with the gap between his ideal self and the reality of his capabilities. He wants to offer more than words, more than casual gestures. He wants to demonstrate that he can meet you on a level of emotional and practical depth that honors the bond you share. This is why he hesitates, why the silence can feel so heavy. He is not punishing you or withdrawing love. He is preparing himself internally, striving to ensure that when he does step forward fully, he can do so with integrity and confidence. It's a form of self-respect and respect for you, acknowledging that love is not something to be rushed or taken lightly. Understanding this can change everything. When you notice him pausing, reflect on the fact that he is aligning his inner world with the relationship he wishes to build. This is a key moment where patience and trust from you can make a profound difference. And here's an interaction for you. Write in the comments how you usually respond when someone doubts their own ability to love fully. And don't forget to like and share this video. It can help others navigate similar dynamics. The journey of emotional alignment continues into the next chapter, where we'll explore how a man communicates his feelings through actions rather than words. By understanding that his hesitation stems from self-doubt and preparation, not lack of affection, you can approach him with empathy, patience, and encouragement. This insight not only deepens your connection, but also lays the foundation for genuine intimacy. Remember, there's a very important message at the end of this video that will offer you clarity and guidance on how to interpret his silence and respond in ways that nurture both trust and love. Stay with me, because the next chapter will reveal how love manifests in his actions, the subtle yet powerful signals that show he's falling deeply for you. Love for a man is often expressed not through words, but through actions. After navigating his internal doubts and insecurities, he begins to communicate his feelings in subtle, yet powerful ways. You may notice small shifts, the way his eyes linger a little longer on you, the attention he pays to details that matter, or the effort he makes to include you in his daily life. These are not random behaviors. They are his silent declarations of affection, carefully crafted to show commitment without overwhelming vulnerability too soon. True male love is a balance between desire to connect and fear of exposure. When he starts sharing his dreams, fears, or even past struggles, it's a breakthrough. This openness is a rare window into his inner world, a sign that he feels safe enough to let you in. The constancy of his presence, the reliability in his actions, and the consistency in how he treats you over time are all indicators that his feelings run deep. Words may be few, but his commitment is demonstrated through care, effort, and consistency. Recognizing these signs can transform the way you perceive his affection. If you catch yourself doubting his intentions, reflect on the tangible ways he shows love. Actions often speak louder than any declaration. Here's a way to engage. In the comments, write one action you've noticed that made you realize someone is truly falling for you, and don't forget to like and share this video to help others decode these subtle signals. Understanding his language of action prepares you for the next phase, the emotional storm he experiences, before fully opening his heart. This chapter naturally leads into the next, where we explore the tension between his desire to move forward and the instinct to retreat. By recognizing that his actions are his way of saying, "I'm in this," even when words are scarce, you begin to see the depth of his feelings. These behaviors are not casual. They are the silent architecture of love, built carefully as he navigates fear, vulnerability, and self-doubt. Stay with me, because the next chapter will reveal the inner tempest he faces, the silence that precedes his decisive steps forward, and how understanding this can transform your perception of male affection. And remember, the very important message at the end of this video will give you insights that could change the way you experience love and connection. Behind the calm exterior, a man often experiences a storm of conflicting emotions. The silence you notice is not emptiness. It's the turbulence of his inner world, a struggle between the part of him that wants to open up and embrace love fully, and the part that fears losing control or being hurt. This internal battle can feel overwhelming, like standing at the edge of a cliff with the wind pushing from every direction. He wants to take a step forward, to connect deeply yet instinctively. He pulls back to protect himself from potential pain. This is why his absence or quietness can feel confusing and even frustrating. What you are witnessing is not a lack of interest. It's a necessary recalibration, a moment where he reorganizes his thoughts, emotions, and intentions. During this time, he is processing not only his feelings for you, but also the responsibilities, expectations, and fears that accompany a deep emotional bond. The calm you see on the surface masks a complex and intense negotiation within. Understanding this can shift your perspective dramatically. Instead of interpreting his silence as rejection, see it as preparation for a more conscious and meaningful connection. And here's an invitation to engage. Write in the comments how you react when someone you care about seems internally conflicted. And remember to like and share this video. It can help others navigate similar experiences. The next chapter will reveal the breakthrough that follows this storm, when his silence transforms into presence and commitment. Recognizing this period as a necessary emotional process allows you to respond with patience and empathy, creating a safe space for him to navigate his fears. The storm before the calm is essential. It ensures that when he steps forward, he does so fully aware, intentional, and capable of being emotionally available. As we move to the final chapter, you'll see how this quiet, turbulent phase culminates in a profound shift, a transition from hesitation to devotion, from fear to love in action. Stay with me until the end, because the important message I promised will give you clarity on interpreting his behavior, helping you understand that the silence you observe is a sign of emotional depth, not distance. This insight will transform the way you perceive his actions and prepare you to recognize the moment when his vulnerability becomes a bridge rather than a barrier. After navigating the storm of his emotions, the moment finally comes when silence transforms into presence. This is not always a dramatic declaration. Often it's a subtle, consistent shift in how he shows up. The hesitation, the tests, the internal doubts, all give way to actions that reflect a conscious choice to love. He becomes more attentive, more present, and more willing to share his inner world. The energy changes. What was once guarded becomes open, not because he no longer feels fear, but because he has decided that the connection is worth it. This is the culmination of his internal journey, a transition from self-protection to emotional availability. The small gestures, the way he prioritizes your needs, the care he invests in your moments together, the honesty in his conversations, these are the expressions of his commitment. They demonstrate that he has faced his fears and chosen to act despite them. Understanding this transformation changes the way you perceive male silence and distance. What may have once felt like uncertainty now becomes a sign of depth, of reflection, and of intentional love. And here's something for you to do. Write in the comments one way someone's actions showed you they were truly committed. And don't forget to like and share this video, so others can learn to recognize these subtle signals too. This is the stage where trust deepens, connection strengthens, and love becomes tangible through consistent, meaningful actions rather than just words. The silence that once caused doubt is now a space that allowed growth, reflection, and readiness for a genuine bond. By understanding his journey, from persona to vulnerability, from reflection to testing, and finally to conscious commitment, you gain insight into the complexities of male emotional expression and the profound depth behind what might initially seem like distance. Remember, as I mentioned at the beginning, there's a very important message in this video, and here it is. Male silence and distance are not always rejection. They are often the pathway to a deeper, more intentional love. Recognizing this allows you to respond with patience, empathy, and trust, creating a relationship that is not just present, but profoundly connected. By staying through this journey, you've unlocked the key to understanding how love can manifest quietly, powerfully and intentionally in actions rather than words, giving you a roadmap for recognizing true affection and commitment.